questions. I better not start the questions. I'll get in trouble.
What's your message for Super Tuesday voters?
Everyone please move this way.
Super Tuesday said, do you have a message for voters?
Thanks, come on.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
With that, I'm going to turn this over to Lael, the Director of National Economic Council. But I'm supposed to leave for a meeting with the Business Roundtable on the telephone. But I'm going to hang around and listen a little bit. So with your permission, I'd like to stay and my staff will tell me when the drop dead hour occurs. When I raised this issue a year or so ago with some of my team, they thought no one's going to care much about it. Well, they didn't sit at my kitchen table when I was growing up.
And on the Vice President, there were reports that the National Security Council had asked her to, quote, tone down her speech on Sunday. What can you say about that?
I would point you to what the Vice President's spokesperson already said about that story in calling it inaccurate.
Does the administration still believe it's more effective to withhold public criticism of Netanyahu in order to have more sway in private? And is that private sway waning?
I don't think I'm going to accept the premise of that question. I mean, we have been nothing but candid and forthright.
On a different topic, there was a bit of a kerfuffle this morning across Lafayette Park at the Department of Veterans Affairs regarding an effort to ban the display of that iconic Times Square kiss photo on VJA at the end of World War II. Was anyone at the White House consulted in the drafting of the initial memorandum, and then did anyone at the White House call up the Secretary of Veterans Affairs and say rescind that memo?
So just I want to be really, really clear. The VA is not going to be banning this photo from VA facilities. So I just want to be super, super clear about that. I know, as you just said, you described it as a kerfuffle. There was obviously some reporting on that. I can say that I can definitely say that the memo was not sanctioned, and so it's not something that we were even aware of until you all started reporting on it. But we are not banning that photo. And
made aware of it, and after the memo sort of spread on social media, did the White House direct the Veterans Affairs Secretary to rescind it?
I believe the VA Secretary made a statement on this, so I refer you to the statement.
Of his own volition?
Yes, he did that on his own volition.
You know, the President and I have been very clear that Israel has a right to defend itself, that we have got to make sure that innocent civilians aren't being killed, and that we've got to get these hostages out. And that is one of the highest priorities right now we have. And I'll tell you, the President has been an extraordinary leader in getting us to this point that we have the 6-week deal. And so Hamas needs to do its thing, as I talked about yesterday in Selma. We all want this conflict to end as soon as possible, and how it does matters.